Let's go. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the NFL Sunday Night Football Special. What's
Let's
going
go, bro.
on?
Let's go.
Some good games.
Man, a lot of good upsets, man. Good football this weekend, man.
A lot of good football. Hey, welcome to the Bottom Line NFL Wrap-Up Show. We're going to talk a little bit about NFL, wrap up the games for this weekend that happened on Sunday. And then we're also going to talk about the Cowboys, our Cowboys versus the Giants, the New York Football Giants, tonight on Monday Night Football. Let's go. Come join the conversation. Hey, like, share, do all that good stuff. Come join the conversation. Maybe Jake's out there somewhere. Maybe Jake's out there want to talk about his Broncos. I don't know. We'll see.
A team that barely won, but they won. They won.
They won. Yeah, the Broncos won, but barely. Hey, what happened to my son-in-law's Saints? Did they win?
Did the New Orleans Saints win? Anybody? Somebody? Hello.
Somebody tell me. Anybody tell me. Did the Saints win this week? I don't know. Hey, he ain't gonna be on today. He probably won't come on the chat today.
I know he ain't.
That's what I'm guessing. He won't come on the chat. We'll put the chat up. Hey, welcome, like, share, do all that good stuff. Hey, we're gonna talk a little NFL. We're gonna talk about your team, more than likely. We're gonna try to hit all these teams. And if you want to come talk about your team, come talk about your team. Hey, come talk about the Cowboys if you want to. If you want to, our Cowboy team. That's right. And your old team, the Falcons, they won. Shout out to them, bro. So hey, let's talk about them. As long as we're talking about football, let's go ahead and start with the Falcons. So yesterday, and you picked against them. You thought they were going to lose, but I told you that I thought they were going to win because they were in every game pretty much. Every game they lost, they were kind of in the game. I mean, the Rams, they were behind for a while, but they came back and made it close. And I thought Seattle got lucky against Denver, to be honest. And I didn't think, Geno, of course, turning back into Geno. So the Atlanta Mariota had a pretty decent game. He had 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 229 yards passing. Geno had a lot of yards, 325. So he actually played a decent game. But I just thought,
yeah, man.
Yeah, I just thought the Falcons, being in every game. I mean, the way the Falcons have been in every game, I thought they could win this game because they were in. The game against Detroit, they were close. The game against against the New Orleans, it was a 1-point game.
The Saints,
heartbreaker,
and the Rams, close games.
Heartbreaking games. Close games, right? And so,
absolutely,
I felt like you could beat Seattle. I think you were a better team than Seattle. So, what do you think? How are you feeling about your old team, the Atlanta Falcons?
Man, when I look at Marcus Mariota, 13 for 20.
Yeah.
229 yards, 1 touchdown, but Cordero Patterson really carried the team yesterday. 17 rushes, carries, 141 yards, 1 touchdown. But then you got the other guy, the rookie, London, scored a touchdown. Atlanta's defense is the prominent tool that saved them yesterday, their defense.
Yeah, Atlanta has come up with
their defense. Yeah.
Atlanta has played some decent defense. I mean, they let people score, but they've come up with plays here and there to keep them in games, come up with stops that keep them in games and stuff like that. So Atlanta's done well. I'm surprised Mariota didn't run it more in this game. He really didn't need to, I guess. But I think him using his legs a little more is helpful to Atlanta Falcons. So we'll see what happens. I mean, 1-2. You guys aren't out of it yet. I mean, the Falcons aren't out of it yet, so they got a shot.
Brother,
we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Well, it ain't looking promising Sunday because Cleveland rolling to town on Sunday.
Cleveland. It ain't looking good.
It ain't looking good.
All right. Let us know what your team is. Maybe we'll talk about them and we'll jump to your team. So another big game. So the Ravens and the Patriots. That was a pretty good game. And to tell you the truth, here's a question that we could put out there: Is Lamar Jackson front runner right now for MVP? I mean, he has had a great season so far. I mean, even in this game, he had 218 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did have an interception, but he had 107 on the ground and a touchdown on the ground. Last game, I think he got over 100 or close to 100. I mean, Lamar's been playing really well. What are your thoughts? Do you think Lamar's early MVP candidate right now to win the MVP, NFL MVP?
I mean, right now, I respect what Lamar Jackson has done, man. I kind of respect him declining that contract. He is really showing right now why he deserves the big bucks.
Right.
Because like I said,
he bet on himself, and he's doing well. He bet on himself,
and he's showing up. They're 2-1. They look really good, man. The Ravens, I mean, with him 18-29, 218 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Right.
His brother looked good yesterday, man. And so,
yeah, even in that loss against Miami, he played really well. I mean, that loss was on the defense. The defense was a lot. I mean, to think about it, that defense is the one that lost the game for Baltimore. That's been the staple for the Baltimore Ravens is their defense, right? And so even in that game against Miami, he had 318 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also had 119 yards rushing and 1 touchdown on the ground. So, I mean,
look good.
Even through the air, on the ground, it don't matter. Lamar Jackson has looked good.
Making it happen.
So that I can't put that loss on Lamar Jackson. As far as the Dolphins just came back and had a great fourth quarter and just miracle comeback. Really a miracle comeback in that game.
What I would say right here, Flo, is the Ravens look phenomenal. Harbaugh is doing great things. Lamar Jackson is doing great things. Like you said, he bet on himself. And I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to do it right now. They're going to beat the Bills by 6 at home on Sunday. They're going to beat the Bills. The Bills are going to take 2 L's back-to-back. They're going to get beat in Baltimore on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
I'm going with the Ravens on Sunday.
Ravens on Sunday already?
Yeah.
Wow.
By 6.
Wow, against the Bills. So Bills back-to-back losses. That's not good for a team that's supposed to go to the Super Bowl. Everybody's picking with the Super Bowl.
They losing Sunday.
All right, speaking of the Dolphins. The Dolphins played the Bills. We talked about both teams. The Ravens played the Dolphins last week, and you said the Bills were going to lose back-to-back. So they lost against the Dolphins this past weekend. Wow, the Dolphins are undefeated, beating basically everyone's NFL favorite to go to the Super Bowl from the AFC. Are the Dolphins legit? What are you thinking?
Bro, when I look at the numbers, man, Josh Allen went 42 for 63, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, man.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He looked good, like phenomenal, man. I mean, their offense, defense, and everything was set good, man.
It looked like really, at the end, the poor clock management, right?
It was poor clock management because whoever they gave that ball to that last drive should have got out of bounds. Yep. But he stopped and they got in field goal range and the clock just kept rolling because they didn't have any timeout. So I won't throw in the towel yet on the Bills.
But you have them lose again. You have them lose again.
They losing Sunday, bro.
They losing Sunday again?
Yeah, bro. They gonna lose Sunday, man. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Trust
me. Yeah. So I mean that's good news if you're a Chiefs fan or a fan of any other team in the AFC. If the Bills lose again, and here's the thing: the weird thing about the Bills is that this makes 7 games in a row where they've lost a 1-score game.
1 possession game. Yeah.
1 possession game. They're 0-7 in the last 7 games. I mean, what is the deal with the Bills? Is it coming down to just bad coaching, time management?
Man,
a lot of things. It's crazy.
The Bills
they're either going to blow you out or lose a close game. That's crazy.
Bro, look, when you look at that game, they blocked the punt. The punt was blocked. They got a safety. They need somebody that can manage the clock in an efficient manner to really help the Bills become efficient.
Right.
They losing Sunday, bro.
It's crazy.
They losing Sunday.
If they lose, it's going to have to be a close game, because that's what they do. They lose close games.
They lose close games, man.
It's craziest thing. But they'll blow. They can either blow you out or lose a close game to you. It's the craziest thing. Something. It's got to be something in the coaching, time management. I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy how they lose those close games. But yeah, so the Dolphins. You're saying the Dolphins are legit then?
Man, from what anytime a defense can get 3 or 4 sacks in the first half, the way their defense showed up, they legit to me on both sides of the football.
So the Dolphins are legit to you right now. Well, I mean, of course, right now they're 3-0. But I mean, you think they can sustain this? You think this is sustainable? They can go through and have maybe even challenge for that division, challenge the Bills for that division. Everybody locked in the Bills for that division. Now it's they have a shot at it.
The only chance the Bills will have is Miami. I ain't worried about the Jets, and I'm definitely not worried about the Patriots or subpar.
But I'm saying, you think Miami can legit win that division and take it from the Bills?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
You know what I think right now?
I don't know. Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Just projecting forward into the rest of the season. You think they can sustain this? You think they can sustain this? The Miami Dolphins?
So what I'm gonna give you right now?
Okay.
The Dolphins got the Bengals on Thursday. The Dolphins will lose Thursday. They will lose Thursday.
You think so?
Then they got the Jets and the Vikings.
Okay.
Steelers, Lions, Bears, Browns.
They gonna lose. Win all those?
They'll win all those, but they're gonna lose Thursday. They're gonna lose to Cleveland Thursday.
Wow, and then they're gonna knock off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight after 6 straight after that. Wow. So they'll be 9. They'll be 9-1 going into their bye week. Wow. Absolutely. If that's true, they'll be the favorites going into their bye week halfway through the season.
Right.
Wow.
Because they only got
Super Bowl contenders. Canteen, are you serious?
In the next 6 weeks, they only got one division game. One.
That's crazy though. To think that the Bills would be, I mean, going into their bye week, they'd be Super Bowl or AFC favorites because they got one up on the Bills. I mean, the Bills will be behind them. Wow, that's crazy. All right, so let us know what you think. You think they think the Dolphins are legit? Is this, can they sustain this? We'll see what'll happen. Let's look at another game. And so Lions and the Vikings. Lions once again play a close game but lose. So they played everybody close. It seems like the Detroit Lions. Let me look at their schedule. So they played Philadelphia, who's right now everybody picks them as the NFC favorites. They played them a close game, and they played a close game against the Washington Commanders. And then also the Minnesota Vikings, they played them close. They've lost 2 close games and won a close game. And then, the Vikings, again, they're 2-1. They're picked to challenge the Packers. Your thoughts on this game? Are the Vikings legit? Can the Lions actually maybe make a run at the playoffs? I don't know. Are they look that good?
So let's look at projections for the next few weeks. The Lions, they have the Seahawks Sunday. They'll beat the Seahawks. Okay. They're not going to beat the Patriots. They're not going to beat Dallas. They won't beat the Dolphins. They won't beat the Packers or the Bears. Wow. They'll lose like 2 division games within like the next 5 weeks.
Oh, so then they'll be done after that pretty much.
They'll be done.
Okay.
They'll be done. They'll be done going into like Thanksgiving. They'll be done.
So you don't think this is just they're just they're just playing good at the beginning of the season. They'll fade. They're gonna fade.
They're gonna fade, bro.
Okay. And so you think that the Vikings can sustain and challenge the Packers for that division? What are you thinking?
Man, ooh. When I look at the Vikings, man, they played good ball yesterday. But the Vikings got a tough road ahead of them. They got the Saints, Bears, Dolphins, Cardinals, Commanders, and then the Bills. I think the Vikings might win 2 of their next 3 or 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
When do they play Green Bay again?
They got Green Bay again.
I mean, they're in the lead because
January.
Right now they're in first place because they are 2-0 in the division. So that Green Bay game is going to be big for Green Bay to come back and take control of that division. So you think eventually Green Bay could take control of that division?
Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay. All right. So then let's talk about the Bengals. They finally got their first win against the lowly Jets, 27-12. The Bengals have been in pretty much every game. I mean, they just lost, 2 in a row, 0-2. So, and that's that was your pick to make the playoffs, right? You're one of your 0-2 teams to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
What does it look like for Cincinnati? You're having them beat Miami next week.
This week.
They got
Thursday night.
Thursday. That's right. Thursday night game. You having them beat Miami, and then they got Baltimore, New Orleans, Atlanta, Cleveland, and Carolina. So they got a couple winnable games, 2 or 3 winnable games. Cleveland will probably be a tough game just because I feel
Baltimore will be tough too. Cleveland and Baltimore.
Yeah. Those will be division games, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
Baltimore,
I'll be honest. They'll probably beat Atlanta. And I'm a Falcons fan. I think they'll probably sweep by Atlanta. But so they got Baltimore, Cleveland, Atlanta. Who else? The Saints will play
New Orleans. New Orleans. Okay.
New Orleans will play them tough too.
So they'll beat Miami. Do you think they beat Baltimore or New Orleans after that?
Easy.
Cincinnati will be both of those teams with Lamar playing that well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you think when's their first loss? Cleveland? I mean their next loss.
Cleveland gonna challenge them real good, bro.
Okay, so you think Cleveland and maybe Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
If they beat Carolina going into their bye.
If
they only lose one more game, they'll be looking good. I mean, to get back to the playoffs and challenge for the AFC. It's okay. All right, so that's what we're doing. Talking a little NFL wrap-up show. Let us know what you think. So we're just trying to wrap up the NFL. Then we'll talk a little AFC, pregame from Monday Night Football. Here's another one. So the Chiefs lost against the Colts, and then the Raiders lost against the Colts. My Chiefs, my Mahomes is really a reason right for the Chiefs, but the Chiefs lost to the Colts 27. They could have won that game. Kelsey dropped one in the end zone. There was also, I think it seemed like there was another fumble that they lost. But anyway, so the Chiefs beat the Colts. Is this any panic for the Chiefs, or is this just a little hiccup and they just keep moving?
Right now, looking at the AFC West, they should be the AFC least because they horrible.
AFC less.
All the other teams are garbage at this point.
It's crazy. Everybody went into this year saying they were the best conference.
Right. Now,
that conference is struggling.
Listen.
Yeah.
There's no need for Kansas City to panic.
Right.
Right? The Raiders, they at the bottom of the barrel. They 0-3.
0-3. So the Raiders are done. You think they're done this year?
Then you got a broke up Chargers team. They broke up.
And they don't look good on offense. They're struggling this game on offense.
He got hurt.
And then Denver. Look at Denver 2-1, and they barely won.
And they barely won on 2 games.
Barely.
You barely beat Seattle, and you barely beat the 49ers. You beat 2 teams from the NFC West that you barely beat.
Ugly winning. They looked ugly winning those games too.
Say it again.
They looked ugly winning those games too.
I think right now, Kansas City's in the driver's seat. But I won't take Matt Ryan, 27 for 37, 222 yards. Matt Ryan looked good yesterday. He looked good.
Okay.
He looked stellar.
For your old QB, Matt Ryan.
He looked good.
He looked good. I think maybe Indianapolis is righting the ship a little bit. They tied that one game, then they lost a bad game, had a bad loss
to Jacksonville.
But Jacksonville now looks legit. Jacksonville looks like
is the legit
be a playoff team.
AFC South team.
So Tennessee looks like they're faltering. So could that be a race between Jacksonville and the Colts, the AFC South?
I'm gonna call it right now. The Jacksonville Jaguars will fall out. The Colts will win that division.
Oh,
Jacksonville might be a wild card.
So So you're saying the Tennessee's out then? Tennessee Titans are done.
Tennessee done.
Done. Even though they won a game this weekend,
they gotta do more. They gotta do more than that, bro.
Okay, yeah, and it looks like it has. Speaking of Tennessee's struggling. The Titans are struggling. Do you think that Derrick Henry's falling off a cliff? I mean, is he starting to lose it? I mean, can we say that? I mean, is this the? I mean, sometimes running backs, they fall off a cliff. He's carried the Titans for years now. Do you think maybe he's starting to fall off that proverbial cliff as a running back?
This is my honest opinion. This is what I say, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Henry, his last stop will be with the Titans. Henry has about 2 solid years left, and then he's done, man.
Then he's
taking a lot of beatings. He's taking a lot of beatings, man.
He's had a lot of carries. A lot of carries.
Yeah.
And what did he have on the? Let me see. What was his stat? I don't think he's made 100 yards yet, has he? Or did he have 100 yards this game?
I'm about to put it up for you right now.
Yeah, see what these carries are. I don't think he's struggled the last few games to get even close to 100. So I don't know.
Henry,
let us know what you think. Derrick Henry falling off that proverbial cliff. Go ahead.
20 carries, 85 yards.
Okay. And game before?
Let me go. Hold on. I'm trying to pull up like his whole. Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna just pull up. I'm gonna pull up his season stats. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think he's reached 100. And last year he was leading. He was leading the NFL. He got hurt, and then he came back, and he was still like in first or second place in the NFL in rushing yards. I mean,
so far, 54 carries, 192 yards.
Okay.
He averaged about four yards a carry.
Okay,
2
so it's
touchdowns.
not
He's
too
done
bad.
pretty
4
good.
yards. That's a little low for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe he's hitting that wall, and this is his year where he comes down. I don't know. I mean, he is coming off an injury. Was it his knee? I can't remember what his injury was last year. Was it a knee? ACL.
I think it was
Yeah.
knee injury.
So, and then speaking of the AFC West or less, AFC Lest. Yeah, the AFC West was supposed to be the best, and they looked terrible. And then speaking, we talked about how the Vegas is 0-3, Chargers are struggling at 1-2, and Denver struggling to get to 2-1. Is Russell Westbrook? Is there something wrong with Russell Westbrook? I mean, did Seattle see something that nobody else saw that we didn't really see? I mean, he hasn't looked great this year. I mean, is it new offense, new coach, new place, or is it Russell's falling off that cliff too? He's. I mean, what do you think? Is it just
man? All right.
He needs more time to adjust to this new. Wouldn't that go into? I mean, you even looked at our Bronco fan, the Bronco lover. Jake, the Bronco lover. He was like Super Bowl goes as soon as they got Russell Wilson, and I even remember. I don't know if you remember. I said, "Hey, what if Russell Wilson starts to look old? He's in his early 30s. Getting older." I told him, I said, what if Russell Wilson starts to look old? And it seems like he's there, or he's close to it. I don't know. Maybe it's just Jake the Bronco love. I don't know. What are you thinking?
All right, man. At this point,
is it Russell?
Oh man, man, it's a mix of things. The coach, Russell Wilson, they're playing poor football, man, as a whole organization, man. Like, when I look at Broncos, man, I'm looking at their projections for the next. Bro, they got the Raiders gonna beat them Sunday, man. They ain't gonna beat no Raiders. Bro,
you think Russell's losing it?
I don't think he's losing it. It's something that's missing in the recipe, man.
So now, you think it's a matter of coaching?
Mm-hmm.
You think it's a matter of coaching?
Now listen to this.
He's in a new system. He's still getting adjusted. Look, you're not writing off Russell Wilson yet. You think it's still a matter of
if he ain't got it by week 6, week 7,
right?
Hell, at least week 8. That's halfway through the season. He ain't gonna get it. Because when I look at the Broncos, listen to what I'm saying. They got the Raiders, the Colts,
the
Chargers, Jets, Jaguars.
Right.
They might win 3 out of those next 4 or 5 games, man.
Really?
They ain't gonna beat the Raiders on Sunday, bro. They ain't gonna beat the Raiders, man. That ain't happening.
You said the Raiders were done.
Raiders will beat them Sunday.
Okay. I mean, the Raiders are. Let's be honest. They've actually they've lost close games. They've all been close games. The Raiders, or did they? They didn't get blown out, did they?
Mm-mm.
They've all been close games. They just lost heartbreakers. I mean, kind of like almost like you guys in a way.
Yeah.
Of course, New England kind of blew them out a little bit. Well, no, hold on. No, they were all close games. So you're thinking the combination of Denver not looking good and the Raiders desperate for a win, you think they lose against the Raiders on Sunday?
They're gonna lose Sunday, bro.
Okay. So Denver loses, so they'll be 2-2, and then that's going to go ahead and feed into this. Is Russell Wilson done? Why is he struggling so much? I mean, that's going to feed into that narrative, about Denver. I mean, they'll be 2-2. They lost to an 0-3 team in the Raiders. I mean, that's going to feed into that narrative that, hey, is Russ done? What's he missing? So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, that's a division game, right? So
mm-hmm.
I mean, to be honest, the Raiders are going to be very desperate to win that game, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah. So, and it's going to be at home. So, and they've played well enough to win all the games they've lost, right? The Raiders, they just haven't been able to finish it, right? So, yeah, we'll see. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Let us know what you think of your Denver fan, whatever fan you are. We're just wrapping up the games here, talking a little NFL. Let's see. Any other games you want to hit? How about the Eagles and the Commanders? I thought that game would be a little closer. Wentz didn't look too good. The Eagles apparently Now everybody's saying the Eagles are NFC favorites, just because Jalen Hurts has looked pretty good, which he has. He's looked pretty good. He had 340 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also ran it for another 20 yards. Wentz looked, he struggled. He struggled. He had a lot of pressure on him, though. The line didn't help him. He didn't have any interceptions, at least, but he didn't have any touchdowns either. So what are you thinking there? Commanders have, I mean, this is the first game I think that they've looked really bad. You know what I mean? Because they won against Jacksonville, which now we know Jacksonville is a good team, right? Jacksonville's a solid team now. They lost, but they beat them. They beat the Jags. They lose against Detroit in a fairly close game, and Detroit now we say is improved. And of course, then they get blown out by the Eagles.
Eagles.
Are the Commanders that bad, or it's just they just had a really bad game? Because they were in the other two games. They were close. The other two games were closer, and they beat Jacksonville, who you said could be a playoff team.
Man, right now looking at the Commanders,
what do you think about them?
I don't see no hope for them, man. Listen.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you like the next 4 weeks of the Commander, man.
Okay.
They got Dallas. They got y'all Sunday in Dallas.
Us. They got us. That's right. Cowboys. Okay.
Tennessee gonna beat them. That's another loss.
Oh wow.
The Bears gonna beat them. Another loss.
What? The Bears?
The Packers gonna beat them. Another loss.
Wow.
Colts gonna beat them another. The Commanders may not win another game until right before Thanksgiving
Houston?
when they play Tennessee. When they play Houston. Yeah, they're not gonna win no more, bro.
Oh my! You think Chicago's gonna beat them too, though? Chicago's pretty bad too.
Yeah, Chicago won yesterday. Chicago a decent team.
You think so? I don't think so. I don't trust Justin Fields yet. I think he's still trying to.
Chicago
I think they can win that game, Chicago, and I think they can win the Titans game. They may lose against the Cowboys, but I think they can win a couple. Green Bay, you're right. They might lose that one. The Colts, that'll be a close game. I think they can win that game, but I can see them losing. Minnesota will be a hard game. Philadelphia, of course, they're going to want revenge, but I don't know. It's a division game. It might be close. I don't think they're going to lose that many straight. That's crazy.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Who you think they're capable of beating? Who are
they could beat Chicago. They could beat Chicago. I think they could beat Tennessee. I think it beat Tennessee. You said Tennessee was done.
Tennessee gonna beat them, man.
Oh, okay. Okay, do you think so? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, any other games you want to hit? Let's see. Yeah, the 49ers, Garoppolo didn't look good in that
garbage,
game.
Man.
Yeah. So, what about the Packers Buccaneers? Close game. That was kind of an ugly game.
That was an ugly game, man.
Both offenses couldn't really get going.
Stuff, man. A lot of receivers hurt on both sides of the ball. Receivers, running backs.
Right.
Offense was broken on both ends of the ball, man.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I think was it late in the second, early in the third? They was 14-3, and then the Packers were going in for a touchdown, and there was like a fumble or something near the goal line, and they could have gone up 21-3. And then after that, it seems like the Buccaneers, buckled down, for lack of a better word. But they buckled down, and the defense showed up finally. So that was that was kind of a defensive struggle for sure. Which one of these do you think both of these teams make the playoffs from the NFC? Packers and the Bucs.
And of course, I think the Buccaneers are gonna make it.
Okay.
The only way that the Green Bay got to win that division to make it, man. Because
you say
I doubt that there's 2 teams coming out of the NFC North, man.
Okay.
Right now, yeah, man, it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be Minnesota, Green Bay.
My projection right now, there's gonna be 2 teams out of the NFC East, your division, and then there'll probably be one out of the South, one out of the West, and one out of the North, man.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think both Green Bay and Minnesota can make it. I think the South, you could have 2 teams. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about New Orleans or Carolina. I mean, who's going to challenge Tampa Bay? That's the thing. Winston, sometimes he looks good. He's been inconsistent. And then the West, which looked pretty good. Everybody said the West was the strongest NFC, and there have 3 teams that are 1-2.
Look
The
bad,
West, the
man.
Rams are 2-1, and people think the Rams look shaky, even though they're 2-1. They still look shaky. So the West, both the AFC West and NFC West, which were supposed to be the best conferences, and the best divisions in each conference, and they both are struggling right now. Of course, Seattle was never gonna challenge, but Arizona, San Francisco, and the Rams were all supposed to kind of challenge for that first place. The Rams are there right now, so
Yeah.
all right, yeah. So we'll see what happens. It's week 3. A lot of things will start shaking out here in the next couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, as teams that have losing records, if they start continue to fall into the hole, they're gonna just getting ready for next year after a little while. Once you get back under 500, like if you're like once you get 3-6, 3-7, it starts to get pretty ugly. You get to 6 and 7 losses already, and it gets hard to you're done pretty much. I mean, that's going to be tough. And of course the Raiders, they have a tough. I mean, they're a good team. I think they're still a playoff team, but they are 0-3. That's going to be hard to come and make the playoffs out of 0-3. You need to win 3 games just to get back to 500. So that's going to be a tough road going uphill for them. All right, so let's do this. Let's talk about the Cowboys versus the Giants. Giants are 1-point favorites. Our Dallas Cowboys. So what are you thinking here? The Cowboys and the Giants here. We're playing here in a few minutes.
I think it's gonna be a good defensive battle, man.
Okay.
Defensive battle.
Okay.
It ain't gonna be no high scoring game, man. Like I said, man, whoever wins is gonna win by at least 3 points, 3 to 6 points.
Close defensive game.
Be a lot of field goals tonight. Ain't gonna be a lot of scoring like heavy, man. Because
okay.
Dallas, our team is missing a lot of key weapons. Then you look at
I like it.
So
we're losing. I mean, Cooper looked pretty good though last game. He didn't look too bad. Cooper Rush did okay. I think if he plays another solid game, he could pull us to victory again, or at least help us get another win. I think Elliott and Pollard, I think they could get 100 yards together. I think CeeDee Lamb has to come and have a good game. He hasn't really came out as he's the number 1 receiver, but he hasn't really had a breakout game. Last game, remember Noah Brown had a great game last game, over 100 yards. Him and Cooper Rush, of course, were on the practice squad together, so they played a lot together, so they have a kind of a chemistry. So hopefully Cooper can now that he's taken all the snaps for another week, maybe him and CeeDee Lamb can start to get a connection, get a chemistry as far as, timing and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of agree. It might be a little bit of defensive battle. I feel like Daniel Jones is not. He's very inconsistent. He hasn't turned the ball over lately, but he's a turnover machine the last few years. So I'm hoping he can give us a couple of turnovers, either a fumble or a couple interceptions. Saquon Barkley has never run over 100 yards on us, so I'm hoping that we can continue that trend against Saquon Barkley. Even though he looks healthy now this year. So we'll see what happens. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be in the 20s, though. I think this game will get in the 20s. It'll may start out slow.
24.
21-24? I kind of like that score. I think it'll be close. I think that it's a rivalry game. So, there's always some crazy things that happen in these rivalry games. There's like a late fumble or some kind of weird interception. Yeah, that always these rivalry games, man. People get into them. The teams, it's just one of those historic games in Giants versus the Cowboys, kind of like the Redskins and the Cowboys. I mean, it's just one of those historic type games, that draws a lot of attention. It'll probably win the rating. It'll probably win the ratings for this week. But anyway, it'll probably be the highest rated game.
Hey, your boy Stephen A picked the Cowboys to win tonight.
Oh Lord, he's trying to jinx us. He's trying to jinx us. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking that jinx from you, Stephen A. Yeah, so I think the Cowboys are going to win. It'll be a close game as long as Cooper stays within himself, doesn't make any major turnovers, and we run the ball. We got to stick to the run. Micah, I think, is going to have a good game. Lawrence Taylor said he's coming to come see Micah play in person.
Lawrence Taylor, yeah.
LT, yeah. So that'll be exciting for him, even though Micah's been sick. He's had like a cold or some kind of cold. Did you see what Micah posted? He posted the Michael Jordan's flu game. He said he's coming back. He said that he's gonna be like.
Man.
He posted the Michael Jordan flu game for himself. Like, he's gonna come back and have a great game, I guess, after being sick. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go. Man, I'm gonna go.
I'm going 24-21. Dallas will edge out and win.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give Cooper a little credit, but not too much credit. Let's go 21-24. Is he 27? A couple of field goals in there. I'm gonna go 27-19. 27-19 Cowboys.
8 points.
It's a pretty close game, and then we kind of pull away late in the game, second half. Yeah.
8.
Yeah, let's do
right.
it. Is that 8 points?
8 points.
Yeah, 8-point game. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna put. It'll be a good game though. I'm thinking it'll be good, pretty close throughout the whole game. Hopefully, if we blow them out, hey, that's fine with me, huh? I mean, that's okay with me if we blow them out. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, all right. Any final thoughts? Anything else on tap?
Let's get it, man. Game time, bro.
It's game time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's it, man. Let us know what you think, everybody. Hopefully, you guys give us your thoughts on the repeat. And whatever happens, we appreciate you. Hey, let's watch this game, and appreciate anybody tuning in and share, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Thursday night. Let's go Thursday night.
Hey, we might go Thursday. We'll go Thursday pregame. That'd be a big game. Miami versus the Dolphins, Cincinnati versus Miami. That should be a good game. So we'll see what happens, man, and take it from there, man. Let's go, Cowboys! Let's go! You better be rooting for them Cowboys, team. Our Cowboys. I need to change. Hey, I need to change this video. Put you in Cowboys uniform. Yeah. All right, go finish that.
All right, bro.
All right, man. We'll see you. All right.
All right, bro.